Good morning, Truth Serum Nation. Been a busy week, a lot of things happening very, very fast. And get a coffee. It's early. I haven't done one in a while, but I just wanted to take a look, keep up with current events. So if you're new here, uh, this is your guy, the Truth Serum. I've been censored and monitored, but I'm going to keep putting things out. And wherever it goes, it goes. All right? Fake microphone, but don't let it fool you. All right, folks. So what do we got going on? First and foremost, thank you. Thank you that I woke up. Second and foremost, remembering 9/11 yesterday. 9/11 and everything that happened there. So get that out of the way. Tonight there's the Bills game, Bills Miami, Thursday night football. But let's get down to some political I don't even know what you want to call it at this time. This media apparatus and this political propaganda game that they're perpetrating during this election. It's such a flagrant foul. I mean, duh, who doesn't know? Who doesn't know? Let's get to some current events. This is the morning juice. I'm starting something new here. I'm up all night, all morning, and all this. I take in a lot of information. Let me give you some. Hurricane Francine come in, Louisiana. Hurricane force winds, 400,000 are out of power. It must have been a category 4 or 5 because the winds reached over 100,000. 100 miles an hour. 100,000. What the heck? And SpaceX did the first spacewalk, and there was 19. I think there was 19 astronauts that broke the record of the previous record of 17. So, excuse me, smoke another one. They got probably about 500,000, 400,000 people out of power down there in Hurricane Alley down there in Louisiana. So, holy cow. Now we got the Ohio cat story. Remember the debate last night and Donald Trump said, oh, they're eating the cats and pets. And then, Kamala's laughing and everything. And when you get to the debate, there's David Muir and that other slant, whoever she was, these biased reporters, which I thought it could have been worse, but it's the same rhetoric. It's 3 against 1. All candy-coated questions for Kamala where she's just lying, straight lies out of her mouth. Flagrant foul, just straight lies. And they're coddling Kamala, this ABC's Marxist network, and they're just trying to stick it to Trump. I got the feeling that Trump just said, he's just starting to feel at this point in time, if the American voters and the American citizens don't know what's up by now, on September 12th, 2024, there's nothing more Donald Trump can tell you at this point in time. There's not going to be any more news revelations about, oh, I got this new information or that information. It's all propaganda that's coming from the left. They got the media, print media. They got all that covered. And there's really nothing more that Donald Trump can say or do to entertain a Marxist hack, Kamala Harris, that is their poster child. And there's nothing more than what more can Donald Trump say? He should have he missed out on some points last night when she said, oh, you said people are eating their pets, blah, 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 blah. Good morning, David Mike. He missed a great opportunity to pounce on that and say, well, hold on, Kamala. Springfield's got 60,000 population. You just let 20 to 30,000 new Haitian migrants into Springfield, Ohio, causing a great stress on the social services and resources of that small town. In the meantime, there was those ducks and swans and geese that hang out near the waters. They were eating those. So, actually that will benefit Donald Trump, because if people want to research that and fact check that, they will get more information on that by shining some light on it, when they just said, oh, Donald Trump said they're eating pets, blah, 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 blah. He could have been more knowledgeable, informative on what that story actually was. Now, the city official of that scum town, Springfield, come out and say, oh, well, we don't have any really evidence that people were doing it. It's on Facebook. It's on Facebook. You see this political apparatus where they just try to debunk and just keep their narrative going and all this jibber jabber and all this other bullcrap. But the residents were actually filming it on social media. So they're coming in, they're doing day labor. So they're taking the jobs of the citizens there. The citizens there. You know, you could get, you know, and I understand. Good morning, Francis. I understand that people are immigrants. They want to have an American dream. Yes. You have to do it the legal way. You have to do it the legal way. You're going to start getting forces of opposition in these cities where I don't promote violence or anything like that, because there's Haitians that are trying to do their thing. And of course, they're going to take an opportunity. They're going to take advantage of an opportunity to get some footing, but you can't come in and give them housing. Now the schools, they're housing them in the school. What are you doing? You can't hold school. You're housing them in all these makeshift residents. And how are you going to strain a little town like that? Put all that resources, exhaust out of a small infrastructure of Springfield, Ohio, which only has 50,000 to 60,000 population to start with. How are you going to handle 20 to 30,000 immigrants? So they're going to social services, they're getting all those benefits, and they're also going on day labor, displacing those jobs of them people. Now they're displaced because you could hire a Haitian for half the price on daily labor. So the residents lose. They lose across the board. They lose. And that's what Donald Trump was referring to. And then Kamala, with a cackler, she gets up there and is going, oh, they're eating ducks and geese and everything else over there. It's on social media. They're duck and goose. That's a delicacy. I mean, you know, if you go kill they were chopping the heads off or whatever, that's a good meal. You pay a lot of money for that in the store, but you know. So I don't think really, as far as this election is concerned, that there's nothing more that needs to be said. You can flip it, flop it, zig it, zag it, and look at all this. And there's not going to be any more new revelations that we don't already know what the facts are. You got these scumbags, these ABC, these propaganda media. It was 3-1 last night for Donald Trump. And Donald Trump was at the point like, who really cares at this point in time? If you want to rot America, vote for Kamala. There's nothing more I can do. She's lying out of her teeth. The moderators don't even check her. They try to fact check. They didn't fact check her once. When did you ever hear that of a legitimate debate, not fact checking? You don't have to fact check her. You know why they didn't fact check her? That David Muir and that other sloth slant that was next to him, the moderators. You know why they don't fact check? Because they already know it's a lie. They already know she's just talking gibberish. You don't have to be Einstein to figure out what the hell is at play here. It's a total propaganda machine that's trying to snuff out America as we once knew it. And they're just trying to put the finishing touches. ABC propaganda, Donald Trump 3-on-1. Why does this poor guy even put up with it? He must really love our country. He must really love our country for all these investigations from day one, getting shot at. He's been in court all the time. He doesn't need this shit. What does he need this for? Go relax in Florida. Elect Kamala Harris and let the country tank. Let it tank. Go ahead. Go ahead. They'll see what Marxism is all about. Oh. Doesn't her father teach Marxism? Doesn't Professor Harris teach the Marxist agenda? What they want to do, give it a trial run in America? Yeah, okay. You see, this isn't by accident that all of a sudden there's no primary, there's no true political process that was in place. They ran a coup on Joe Biden. They didn't hold a primary. And all of a sudden, she appears out of the clouds with her bullcrap, had done absolutely nothing but destruction, her past record. And it's not by accident, of course. You got the Marxists, you got the Obama, you got all these intermingled demons, and they're trying to fulfill their Marxist agenda that they try to put in place in the early 40s and 50s and 60s, infiltrating prominent minds of Germany, Russia, France, that came over as big, very genius thinkers, but they still had that Marxist communism on their skin. But they come into universities, political apparatuses, local governments, big corporations. They come in to slowly push this Marxist agenda through little by little by little. I wrote a paper on it in 1981, and my professor thought I was crazy. I said, someday it might happen. Well, that someday is 50-something days from now, because we will see if a Marxist could actually win a United States election. And it is by design. Exactly. All these events that are chronologically happening, going back to the debacle of Biden at the debate, all this is exactly just right on course. And it's hard to see, or it's hard to believe that they will fail. It's hard to believe that this Marxist, they got everything. They got the news media, they got network media, they got print media, they got all the advantages. And poor little Donald Trump, he's over there still trying to fight, and he can't do a debate without it being a mismatch, 3-on-1. It's a disgrace to America, number one, and it's a disgrace to the political process and this current apparatus that we have in our American United States government. It's a joke to think that we would even be having these problems. Just, to even phantom or fantasize, for better words, or think I'm getting deranged. I'm getting Kamala Harris deranged syndrome. But to even think we'd have these issues. Now, we're supposed to be a nation on the cutting edge of progress and advancement, and a bright light to the world, and scientifically we're ahead, in all areas. How, in a blink of an eye, it all got flushed down the shitter? How, Wyatt Earp? All of a sudden you turn around, the fox watching the hen house looks around, there's no hens left. Geez, that was quick. Well, they work fast, these Marxists. They work fast because they're so embedded. But now With that being said, folks, I know this is a small channel and I get people in here. Michael, David, Francis, Wyatt Earp, God bless you and your families. With all that being said, they got the edge on propaganda media, okay? But let's extend it further and try to get into the psychographics if we can. Or for that's a fancy word just for saying the thinking at place, the thinking that takes place. They could put on these shit show debates all they want, okay? And they should gain from that. You would imagine they should gain from these unbiased or these biased debates. But with that being said, people that are in, when we watch these debates, how many people that are really going to switch over? I watched a debate last night. There's nothing that can be uttered or communicated that can make me switch from Trump to Harris. There's people that are watching Harris, and there's no way that they're going to switch from Harris to Trump just from watching the debate. They got their embedded bases, but there's the undecided voters and independents that are going to come into play and swing these swing states, so to speak. So what does that mean, the truth serum? Where are you going at? Where are you going? Where are you going to with this? What are you getting at, the truth serum? I came up with an idea. And now this propaganda media and everything I said, I'm coming up with an indicator, a variable that you'll hear it first here. Don't worry about the numbers you see with subscribers and viewers. Don't worry about that. You came here, you came to the right place. All right, my good people. I'm coming up with a term called the media bias gap. Okay? The media bias gap. They're cutie pies with their rigged debates, and they got everything fixed under the sun. They're real cutie pies, of course. We could all see that. That's just in your face. They do it in your face now. Before, they used to have some scruples and just tiptoe around things, blah, 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 yeah. Now they do it in your face. F you. You don't like it. Too bad. They do it in your face. Okay? Let's get back to this media bias gap. Forgive me, I need another smoke because I'm a psychopath. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. With all this being said, how can we think, hey, will this benefit? I think that these Democrats that are just having a block party, close the street off, they're having a little block party. They're very, very confident. They think it's an automatic victory because everything's rigged. Everything's rigged. So let's think about this. As a voter, your Democratic voters, they think a certain way. Republican voters think a certain way. Okay. Now, this bias is going to continue to the election days. There's no way around it. So that's a static variable. That variable will remain constant. There's nothing going to change the bias of propaganda media. Okay, Donald Trump. So that you got to accept that. Well, if I'm a Democrat, we're having all these fixed card games. The deck is stacked and everything else. They stack the deck. Donald Trump, don't play cards with them anymore because they're bums. Don't play cards. I believe that there's going to be a media bias gap. The bias media, propaganda media, might get these Democratic voters so confident while they're rocking and rolling, Yeah, we got a fixed election here. We're running all the propaganda. We're running biased debates. The biased media, print, network. We're rocking and rolling. So I don't think I'm gonna go vote because I think there's enough support for Kamala. All my homies and everybody else, they're gonna go vote because it's one big party. It's one big party. We could just rest on our laurels and just look at Kamala's winning in the polls. Kamala's rocking and rolling. Donald Trump is done. So this is this media bias gap that I've come up with, discovered. Media bias gap. Let's call it the MBG. The MBG from the OG. Because that can backfire. That can backfire. Now, me that likes Donald Trump is going to go the extra mile to go vote. Holy cow, the Republicans are saying this is a sham, this is a shit show of all this propaganda and all this Marxist bullcrap. I'm going to, if I got to walk to the election center, I'm going to walk. If I got to walk to support Donald Trump, because now me as a voter, registered voter, I'm going to take the more concerted effort to go vote. Because it is necessary and it is urgent, because we're playing a game with a fixed deck of cards. So I will be more motivated to hitchhike to go vote. And that, what you don't see with all the pundits and all the pollsters, and you can't put a number on that because that lies out there on said election days. So you can't put a number on my little media bias gap because we won't know that until that event has concluded. That event needs to commence. And I could say, I told you so, or, well, I was wrong, or whatever. And I could just claim this theory was right or true or false to prove a theory or not in scientific stuff. But we just like to have fun here anyways. We're not going to get too scientific and start throwing out chi-squared formulas and the matrix and all that. We're just homegrown people here trying to have a little fun. So I think it could backfire on the Democrats. Media bias gap. I like to throw syndrome on there, but keep it a little simple. So, yeah, I mean, the voters are already decided. More or less the voters. How many undecided voters are out there? Now, the media, my good people, the independents and the undecided. If you're undecided today, September 12th, if you're 50-something days from election day, if you're undecided voter today, you've been living in a effing cave for the last 3.5 years. If you're an undecided, so Trump and Harris are going after the undecided voters and the independent voters. Oh, we need them. We need them. Of course you need them, but I'm going to tell you right now, 99% of the undecided voters already know who they're going to vote for. There's not going to be any more new revelations of policies from either camp or anything else you could throw around. There's nothing else you could throw around. This undecided demographic. It don't matter. They already know what they're gonna do. They're undecided. They know who. Does the undecided voters need? What's new information that the undecided voters need? Well, Tom, I haven't decided yet, Tom. I don't know. Give me another month. Give me another month. Well, Joe, don't you have enough factual evidence or any idea, just based on 3.5 years? You got any ideas? No, I'm still undecided. Well, what more do you got to know, Joe? I don't know. Are you cracking jokes? People know who the F they're going to vote for. They don't need any more information. Let's just rest that. Mr. Anderson, how's it going? So we know who we're going to vote for, but here's the media bias gap. Here's the media bias gap. All camps know. People know today, September 12th, who they're voting for. They know today. 99.9. 99.9. People know who they're going to vote for today. You ain't going to sway a Democratic voter today or a Trump voter today. You ain't going to sway their thinking. Hey, Tom, can you become a Trump supporter? No, Joe. Hey, can you become a Harris supporter? No, Rick. No, it ain't going to happen. But that's not everything that's at play. They Democrats that know who they're voting for, of course, they got to actually go out and vote. They actually got to go out and vote. You could be so supportive of a candidate. You could be rah, rah, rah for a candidate, but you still got to go vote. You still got to go vote. Put the final touches on it. And I see that the Republican voters are in a more desperate posture, thinking game plan. They're going to be more motivated because when you're fighting the power, when you're fighting this Marxist power, your motivations and reaction to it will be more desperate and more take action. This is bull crap. Well, guess what? Come on, get in the car, everybody. We got to go vote. Let's go vote. We have to take necessary action because we're fighting the power, this Marxist power. So I think that will stir up a more, what I'm trying to say is a more desperate and urgent response from the Republicans that are like, it's either now or never, or our country is done. So I think the Republicans will have a greater response of registered voters that actually go out and register, because now what we got at this fixed card game called the Kamala campaign, that's all biased network. Everything on the network is pro Harris and all negative Donald Trump. He's fighting millions and millions of dollars of ads that are all pro Harris and negative Donald Trump by bullshit lies and all these lies, and they lie and they lie and they lie, and they got the propaganda apparatus in place to just railroad the guy. Now, I don't have to like the guy's personality. I don't care what Donald Trump does with his spare time. I'm not a little bitch that cares what the hell he's doing behind the scenes or any of that. Don't be a bitch, America. What did he do? Now, we already know what his record is. We already know what his record is, which will go down as probably one of the greatest presidents ever. Joe Biden will probably go down as one of the worst presidents ever. This is easy stuff. You got a tramp. You got this lady that is over there that just rode the shirt tails of the Obama Marxist agenda and just got a coup and got put in. This was a third world communist move that we just witnessed in America. A candidate getting in without even a primary or a delegate. So you got that in place where now, which is like that happens in Nicaragua or Venezuela or these third world places where there's no political process, there's no voting process. They just put a person there. Communist Marxist policies, which, well, that just happened in America. Are they done? No, they won't be done until they're in the White House. That's all. So Donald Trump has to overcome that machine. What's up, Mr. Anderson, Mr. Ferraro? I see people in the US are 50-50, don't like D, don't like R. Sorry, I'm happy. Scandinavian. Yeah, put the politics aside, go out and check out the beautiful Mother Nature and have fun. I mean, I said this 40 years ago, and I'm going to repeat myself when I was in college, my first college time when, thank you, Mr. Anderson, I'm doing good. And I was just putting things out there with papers and sociology and different history and different papers. And I said that our country can slowly be infiltrated by Marxist forces, which, because back then I always was looking for information, looking for information. There wasn't the internet, there wasn't Google, this and that. You had to go research books. You actually had to go physically to a reference center, maybe a library, or get, this information. But there's so many new ways of gaining information. But I actually saw it. I saw what they were trying to do way back when. And I said, maybe someday they might try to actually make it to the White House. In this paper I wrote, and my professor, of course, I repeat myself, and he was like, geez, I said, well, you never know. Well, you never know is 2 months away now. That was over 35, 40 years ago. You never know. That statement that I uttered to this professor who had no vision or insight, which I was smarter than the professor, forgive me, but I was a student, but I was actually more. So I actually saw that could be a possibility in the future. Yeah. I thought that could be a possibility, which he shrugged it off. Like, yeah, whatever, Joe. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Well, what about these minds, Professor, that are coming in? And how is America already accepting Nazis and Marxists into our country in very, very critical positions? Politically, corporately, power positions back then, who were known to be affiliated with Marxist and communist regimes. Me as a student, 1980, 1981, then later on, is going, how much footing and treading could they get in America? The longer they're here, it'd be a safe guess to say, well, the longer they're here, the more embedded and entrenched they can be. Because they got power, money for campaign funds, and then you start putting them into the political apparatuses, city councils, state assemblies, our Congress, our judicial system, then they get infiltrated into all these government agencies, and that's the beginning of the end. Look at the hearings. Look at the hearings that they've had for approval for Supreme Court and other highly critical positions in America. Look at who they're trying to hire with their track records right in America's face that flagrantly are proud to say they've dealt with, they got some Marxist people behind them. They don't hide it anymore, folks. They don't hide it. The Senate hearing committees, when they're trying to approve these people and push these people through for these positions, thank God for Ted Cruz. Thank God for Ted Cruz, because when he gets in those Senate hearing committees and all that, and he puts it right down. You ain't messing with Ted Cruz, who I believe was the Harvard debating champ back in his youth, and you could see it that you're not getting anything by Ted Cruz. And he comes right out and exposes them, that's a Marxist. Well, I have here back in 1999, this person was this and that, the communist and Marxism. And The Democrats are trying to push them through. Why? When there's other viable, more legitimate candidates for free America. Yeah. Well, I think we covered. Well, yeah. So if the Democrats try to rest on their laurels because they've had an easy ride of everything, they've just had a cakewalk, maybe they'll forget to go vote because they think they have it made in the shade. Potsy, Ralph Melf, maybe they got it made in the shade. Nah, you go ahead and vote. I'm gonna chill out here. I'm gonna watch freaking uh I'm gonna watch Maury over here. Maury's on. I'm gonna see. Well, they're trying to figure out who's the father. This is the 33rd father. Well, I'm gonna watch Maury. Who's the father? Who's my baby's daddy? I'm gonna go ahead and go without me. I'm gonna chill here. Yeah, they might be partying and rocking and rolling in this fixed election game, but some of them ain't gonna go vote. They think it's already won. They might be right. But I just think the only chance Trump has to win, the only shot he has is for the registered voters, the Republican registered voters, to have a greater percentage of the people that actually go vote. Now, you could have 100 million registered voters and only have 20 million go out and vote. So that ain't no good. Obviously, that's no good. So so they could have a higher number of registered voters. The Democrats could actually, in real time, have a higher number of registered voters because they got a campaign where they're just going and knocking on people's houses and just doing it. They got billions of dollars. They got billions of dollars to just register everybody under the sun. They'll try to register a squirrel or a snake in the grass. They're going to try to register, uh, you know. So this election, in my view, is going to be won by the proactive Republicans that feel a sense of urgency to actually go out and vote. So maybe 90% of the Republican registered voters will actually go out and vote. Maybe only 50% of the Democrats registered voters, maybe only 50% of them will physically actually go out and vote because they're emotional voters and there might be something, they might just not feel like voting. They might be down for the party and rock and roll, but come election day, they might not show up because they think they already have it won. They're resting on their loyals, on their laurels and the propaganda machine. They're just resting on a fixed card game, and there's no way they can lose because they got everything their way. So you might get less of a voter response from the Democratic Party, Democratic voters, that they might not feel the sense of urgency, or they just say, well, we got enough people to go vote. What if most of the people just start thinking, well, we got enough people to go vote, they're going to go vote? What if that becomes the mentality? We'll just chill out. We'll just chill out. We ain't got to do nothing. Let the other people vote for us and we'll be all right. The Republicans, no, they got to go vote. You got to go vote because logic and common sense, when logic and common sense and the future of our country is at stake, that's big motivation, of course, to go out and be proactive. And if I got to hitchhike to go vote, I'm going to be hitchhiking, which in reality, I might really be hitchhiking. I might really be hitchhiking right out here to go vote. I will if I have to. I will hitchhike. So what I'm trying to say also is whether that's true or false, which it's mostly true that I might, but I'll get a ride somehow. But I'm going to get to vote. I'm going. I'm getting there one way or another. 15 miles down the road. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. So that's why I think that this media bias might create actually a gap that can backfire against them. The New York Jets 15, where have you been, man? Good to have you here. Good to have you folks in here. Ferraro, Anderson, Franciotti, Wyatt Earp. Good to have you people in here. You know, David BMX, Michael K, you know, me again. We're having fun. I don't care about being censored anymore and all that, you know. And what that, yeah, yeah. We could still shoot some things around and have some fun. But the MBG folks, I think that all this cutie pie biased propaganda network across the board, I think that it might backfire because they're going to be chilling. Wow. Oh, Trump lost a debate. Or Trump this. Wow, wow. They got all the media propaganda. So the Democratic voters might just be thinking, we got this. I don't think they're going to show up in a big percentage of their registered voters. And they're registering them. They registering them like they're registering the illegal immigrants. You know they're going to vote. The illegal immigrants, you know they're going to vote. They're going to vote for staying at the freaking embassy suites, getting room service. You know they got their vote. They got their vote. You come in and you're getting room service. You're living the life of Riley. So I don't think it could be enough, though. I don't think it could be enough because the Democratic Party isn't the historical Democratic Party that it was 30, 40 years ago. I'm from a family, generations that historically lean toward a Democratic kind of views. But I can't keep an allegiance to them because I, as a person, as a thinking person, just want to look at candidates regardless of their political affiliation. And I just want to make a decision based on good policies or bad policies. Whether you're a Democrat, Republican, a kangaroo, or an elephant, I don't care. I think we're grown up adults and thinking people enough to know that you see a good decision and you see a bad decision and you can decipher it. So if it happens to be on the Republican side, then I'm voting Republican this trip. Oh, well, I thought Grandma and Grandpa were Democrats and this and that. Well, those were perceived as better candidates back then. Our country hasn't evolved into Marxist state-run propaganda machines that are tanking our country. So I got to look to a candidate or a person that's already proven he can do it. He already did it once. He already proved it. And what's the Democrats' track record? Treachery and destruction. He's already proved he can run this. And what do they got? That destruction in California that she left in her wake, that scum state of California. You got Tampon Tim that destroyed that Minnesota, their sanctuary states and cities, and you taxpayers are paying for it. You know, you could be Democrat, Republican, and you can hurrah, and you can get your 2 cents in, and yeah, that's nice, and you can stick up for these people. But guess what? Wait till you get your tax statement. Yeah, you're going to still be cheering and hollering and cheerleading while Kamala Harris is rocking. Kamala's rocking. Yeah. You're going to still be cheering when, honey, what came in the mail? Well, I don't know. It's our taxes for 2023, 2024. I don't know. Well, bring me the envelope. Great balls of fire. Is this right? Oh, yeah. Wait till you get your tax statements. Yeah. Go ahead, you Democrats. Wait till you get your taxes. Yeah. See how much you're cheering then. Yeah. Her policies. these whacked out policies that she's trying to come up with that doesn't even make sense, like 25,000 credit for new home buyers. What kind of retarded did she ever even take an economics class? All that would do is increase the price of housing even higher than it is anyways. You couldn't maintain the mortgage payments on it anyways. They're trying to give away this free new deal. They're running on this freebie new deal that, oh, I'm the consumer and I think I'm getting something out of it. I think I'm getting something out of it. No, it's smoke and mirrors. You know what you're getting out of it. You're going to get it right in the God. You're going to get it. That's what you're getting out of it. While they laugh and tell you how beautiful. And we're looking for an opportunity economy. Where do they come up with this? Some of these advisors, they look for key words because they know a lot of Americans are retarded. They know the thinking of retarded sheeple. They know how sheeple think, and we'll have an opportunity economy. You've had an opportunity for 3.5 years, Sally. Where is it at? This ain't your first opportunity at an opportunity economy. All her policies that she don't even know what about. Obama told her to say this. Obama told her that what it would, you don't need an academic degree in economics or finances. What it would do if you just guessed as a factory worker, it would cause hyperinflation. You think prices are high now. That's why they're going to try to give things away for these credits and everything else. It's counterproductive. It sounds good while you're campaigning and you're saying this and that and all this because they think America's stupid and can't see through that word salad garble. And they just think America's stupid anyways. Let's throw this at them. They must be stupid. Biden got elected. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Exhibit A. Yeah, you're right. There is really, forgive me, Jesus, forgive me for calling them retarded. Forgive me. I'm a sinner. But when does the wrath, biblically speaking, this is God's country? Well, Jesus, this ain't going to be God's country if Harris gets elected. This is going to be Lucifer's country. So we need your help. We need your help because America will never be the same. Little old America, 200 and something years old, 250, going on 250. Little old America will never be the same. Put Joe Biden's face on Mount Rushmore. Yeah. They should put Joe Biden's butt cheeks on Mount Rushmore. That's what they should do. Put Joe Biden's butt cheeks on Mount Rushmore because all he did was crap on America. Why don't they do that? JB's butt. Come on, we're gonna go visit. We're gonna go traveling. Yeah, I want to go check out Biden's butt cheeks. Yeah. Right between Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, we'll put them up there too. Put them up there, folks. Let's have a party. So everything's good, Mr. Anderson, Wyatt Earp, Francis, David BMX. Thank you for joining me. I got my crew in here. The New York Jets. Yeah. Did you see the NY Fire Department made Biden put on a Trump hat? LOL. Did you see Trump had to shake hands with Kamala? They were all standing in line. What a picture, New York Jets, huh? Yeah. They're all standing in line. They're standing. Schumer, he's like a mole. That Chuck Schumer, do you see how evil just takes over your physical and spiritual body? Do you see how evil just turns Pelosi and Schumer into these trolls? They walk like zombies and they're possessed by some kind of like, I don't know, Knights of the Living Dead. I don't know. But they're scary, these people. They look scary. You could feel negative energy coming off of them. They were all down there at 9/11, and God bless the people that got hurt by 9/11. I'll never forget that day. I was talking to my friend TG, and I was doing some bookmaking with the sports. I was doing some bookmaking, and he called me early, and we were going on. I think it was a Tuesday. Might have been a Tuesday, 9/11 back then. Might have been a Tuesday. Look it up. Fact check it. And he said, put the TV on. I was like, what? So we're watching it, and we're like, what's going on? What's going on? And then I'm on the phone, and I'm watching. I'm talking to him, and another plane comes through. Boom, 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 boom. With that being said, let me tell you something, folks, about this election. New York Jets 15. These terrorists obviously came in, and whatever theories and however you want to unwrap that, you can unwrap that any way you wish to. With that being said, though, let's move ahead to today. Let's move ahead to today. They had to take extreme measures to pull that 9/11 off. Extreme measures, getting in, going through here, doing this, doing that. What's going on today? Just walk across our border, you terrorist groups. Just come on in. We'll give you food. We'll give you room and board. Just come on in today, 2024. 23 years later. Big thing, 9/11. Oh my gosh, they got in here. They did this. They did that. They did this. They did that. Today, the Democrats and Kamala Harris, who is the border czar, say, come on in. The water's fine. Jump in. We're going to put you up here in a nice hotel. We're going to give you room service. We're going to give you $5,000 on food stamps. We're going to give you a $3,000 EBT card. Taxpayers will pay for it. Don't worry. The sucker taxpayers will pay for it. The sucker taxpayers that vote for these politicians. Well, go broke when you pay your taxes, you Democrat supporters. Go broke. So now the border is open border. Come in, anybody. Come one, come all. Everybody come in. Can you imagine how many terrorist groups are already on American soil today? We just saw 9/11, the remembrance of 9/11 and everything else. God forbid, with these new terrorist groups that they're saying there's 40, 50, 70 new regime terrorist groups that are already on our soil. What are they plotting? What are they plotting? Trump will go after them and remove them. Kamala Harris wants to bring in more. So while you Democrats are cheering and rocking and rolling over bull crap, wait till this is boots on the ground and they start playing their little terrorist games on American soil. Kamala says, come on in. We don't even care. Unfettered. Come in. We don't just come on in. We don't care who you are. Donald Trump says, I'm going to close the border, and whoever's in here, you're going back home. So if you're Democrat, roll, rock on. But 9/11, tragedy. But when you got the DNA of those terrorists that just got a welcome sign to come into our country, where they're being invited into our country with room and board from Iran, complete radical terrorist nations, the Middle East, that they're just letting come in? Don't you think those countries are saying, hey, the door is open. Get in America right now while the door is open. The election is coming. The election is coming. Donald Trump gets elected. They might close that door at the border right now. Hey, listen, Hamad and Rahib, get over there. The door is open. Yeah, Kamala Harris don't care. She's letting everybody in. Get over there now while the door is open. You don't think they're thinking that? Of course they're thinking that. There was a report that's already stating there could be 40 to 90 cells. What's a terrorist cell? I don't know. Could that be 3 people plotting? Could that be 4 people plotting? Could that be 5 people plotting? You got 89 new countries that come in here illegal. You got cells from countries that we don't really historically have had a lot of intel on. But we know that there's radicals mixed in there that can come in and perpetrate devastating crimes in our country when this is the era and the remembrance of 9/11. So God forbid that while the door is open, that these cells, which intelligence agencies are already saying they're flocking, hurry up, the door is open. Let's get over there. Let's get embedded. They got billions of dollars. Money is no problem. Money is no problem for these terrorists. Money is no problem at all. So Kamala gets elected. She's not closing no border. She can't reverse her policy. Now she's trying to reverse everything just to get elected, all her policies. Don't worry, if she gets elected, she's going back to her traditional policies that she's promoted for 8 million years. So let's just get that established, folks. So there'll be civil unrest. There'll be terrorist things going on in our country. Not like, well, there's an illegal immigrant that came over and did this crime to a young girl. These violent crimes. Well, there was this illegal that came in and did this, and it's a terrible tragedy that our citizens are being killed and assaulted and raped by these illegals. But it's one person doing those crimes. That's just the preliminaries versus organized terrorist cells that come in and got money. They got money to stay in houses. They live in houses. They act like regular Americans. But they're infidels. They're infiltrators. And they're going to come in and hopefully not. But you can see the writing on the wall. You can see this coming. I'm not just coming up with some far-fetched, crazy idea about what could happen or what not. What would you bank on happening? What couldn't you guess that would happen? You don't have to be, it doesn't take any extraordinary knowledge or education to just common sense think that, yeah, the border's open. They're going to keep coming in while the door is open, and they're going to plot on our soil. These countries hate America. We're telling them, come on in. We're going to give you room and board. They hate America. Come on in. We're going to house you and feed you. That's your girl Kamala and Joe Biden. So now they're getting all those people just to buy votes. That's all those are, just potential voters. They're voting without registration. Trying to pass laws at the end, like, well, you don't need to be registered. So you could come up, a dog can vote. You don't have to register. This is Marxist policies. A candidate that was put there in a coup. And then the voting process later. This is Marxism. A phony Manchurian candidate. She's a Manchurian candidate that wasn't even put there only by the Marxists without a primary or a delegate. That's Marxism. Messing with the vote. Marxism. This is what Marxist countries do. You think these Marxists come this far to get Kamala this far that they're going to stop now? Kamala's got this far. You think these Marxists are going to stop now? They'll go for anything, these Marxists. She's come this far. You ain't seen anything yet. And if she gets elected, you better make sure that you bear your arms and protect yourself, because anywhere USA, these people are going to be, if they're all in these, sanctuary states and cities, but they got cars, they can travel. What do you think? They can't travel? Well, they're in Minnesota, they're in they can travel. They're in New York. Well, they can move around. They could move around. They could plot. They could scheme. They got millions of dollars behind them. That's a layup for these terrorists. In these other countries, they have checkpoints, military checkpoints, and everything else. I don't blame you, Jets. You go to some of these other high stress countries with, civil unrest and everything else. There's checkpoints. Show your ID. You got to go from here to there, bum, bum, boom. And they're used to that. They're used to that. You get to America, you get in your car, you get on a bus, you get in an Uber, you can go anywhere unchecked. You go anywhere. This is a layup for terrorism that could happen in America. And we're all reminded by that because yesterday was 9/11, which I don't want to undermine 9/11 and the tragedy and the hell that those families went through. But that'll look like a Girl Scout meeting when these terrorists actually get in here and start doing things all over the place on our soil. Now, we've always had terrorism, which never was in America. We've always had threats that were overseas. Wow, that's nice to know, because when I go to bed at night, all that chaos and gunfire is going on over there. So as long as I've been living, that's been all right. And that's cool. Now, America's starting to look more like a third world country. And a lot of the third world DNA is here. So is the ability and the chances of that happening are much greater now, because you got psychos and rebels and revolutionaries from these crazy countries that are being invited with room and board into our society. What do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to go get a job at the local factory? No. They get their rent paid. They get their car paid. There's millions of dollars of support. And you don't even want to trace that money trail. You don't even want to actually look at the money trail, follow the money of terrorist groups, because you'd be surprised what you would find, that who really is behind these terrorist groups. We're not going to unpack that because my head's already going to get ready to explode. That's too much at 9 a.m. I've already said a lot, but, thank you for coming in, folks. But you ain't seen nothing yet. Baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. Here's something you're never gonna forget. Baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't been around. Remember that song? And God forbid that they win. Because now I want to stress this also, folks, about this Marxism, okay? And how they would actually succeed in this Marxism. What I just said about civil unrest and terrorist groups coming over and causing problems and this and that. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that happens. and they're really getting off, they're really doing these terrorist acts across the country, then what happens? You call in the National Guard, and then that's the beginning. Civil unrest. Then the National Guard tells you when you could go buy your groceries, when you could go pay your bills, when you could go to the beach, when you could go to the park. Nah, this road's closed. You can't travel today. Nah, there's too much craziness going on. It's not safe. Well, I just want to go to the park. Now you got to turn and go home. Go home. Well, I want to go to the grocery store. Well, that's on Wednesdays and Fridays. You missed out your grocery date. That you missed out. That's the beginning of Marxism. You know, your communists. You know how you separate a lot of times Democrat society, socialist society, communism society. What's there's a lot of differences in these constructs. There's a lot of differences in Democrat. So there's a main kicker in what differentiates Marxists, socialists, democratic free society. It's your ability to make money and your ability to access goods. I want to go to the store and shop, or my job or something. There's some censorship. There's some government monetization, not monetize like money, monitoring your labor, the labor force, and your ability to access consumer goods. Also, your ability to travel freely in society. When they're stirring the pot up like this to cause all this chaos and craziness, they're baiting America to go nuts. Kamala Harris wins. All the terrorists are in our country. Confusion and violence and things everywhere. This has happened already. That we're free countries historically on planet Earth that grew into Marx. These are the preliminary rounds. This is what total full-blown communism and Marxism looks before it is full-blown. This today in America is how those countries started out and evolved into their full-fledged Marxist countries and communist countries. They begun and they were birthed in this way that we are going through right now. And there's a lot of determining facts and factors and evidence that could already prove it. We got an unelected person, Kamala, that wasn't processed through the political process. That's the biggest flagrant foul right there. That's the number one sign of Marxism. That alone, you don't even need 6 more facts of evidence. That alone, a candidate that didn't get a delegate, or there was no primary. They kicked Joe Biden out. They told him bye-bye, and now we're going to do it this way. It's never happened in America. She didn't get a delegate. She got 0 in 2016. Zero. They slapped her all over the freaking debate stage. Now she's leading in the polls for the United States of America. That's Marxist. To even be at that level, she's come this far down the Marxist trail. They ain't stopping. They're not going to stop now. They're going to not stop now. But all you Democratic supporters, you Democrat voters, think it's just one big party because you don't like Donald Trump, and you don't even realize what's at stake here. Because you same people can become the victims of the crimes under the Kamala Harris regime. You're not going to like it when you got crazies running around all over your cities and everything else. And then you become the victims while you're supporting and cheering for Kamala Harris. Like it's some big party just because you don't like Donald Trump. I don't like him. Really? You better start figuring things out before it's too late. Before it's too late. And that same demographic of Harris voters, they will suffer more under the Harris regime than they would under Donald Trump. Now, the Donald Trump base and thinkers and voters, they're not going to suffer as much if he's not elected. They're not going to suffer as much. The Democrats will rot and they're going to lose out. That demographic is going to lose. They have Stockholm syndrome. What is Stockholm syndrome? It's when you fall in love with your oppressor and you cheer and you root for your oppressor. Because these Marxists have been studying this stuff since the 20s, 30s, and 40s, and 50s. And how to get sheeple people thinking where you will love your oppressor. They've already figured this out. And their poster child is Kamala, to get it across finally after 80 years of being embedded in America that we got a Marxist candidate that is winning in the polls. Woo! Holy cow. So, of course, I want the country to be a healthy country. But at the end of the day, a lot of people like to say, I told you so. I told you so. Oh, now you're starving. You need a couple dollars. No, rot. You're over there cheering for Harris and Biden. No, rot. I'm broke. I can't help you. Rot. Go to the surplus store. They have a surplus store. Get your flour and your peanut butter. Get your condensed milk and your flour and your peanut butter, and go to the city, the armory. Go to the armory there and there's a line there. Go there and get your staple goods because you're broke now. I'm broke. I can't lend you any money. Rot. You're cheerleading for devils and demons. And now when the smoke clears, they're all going to be broke going, oh, I can't eat. I can't do this or that. Well, then rot. Forgive me. That's not what Jesus would say. Jesus would say, love your enemies. Forgive me. But when does the wrath come? Forgive me, Jesus. Forgive me. I thought you learned more than that, Joe, about the Bible. I thought you were very biblically smart. You should have learned a little bit more than that, Joe. Well, this pisses me off. Forgive me, God. Forgive me. If this is God's country, how's this happening? Huh? God bless America. Well, we're going to need it this election. This is either going to, Jesus, we got to talk, Jesus. In case you didn't know, in 2 months, this will either be Lucifer's country, this country will either be Satan's country, or it will be God's country. That's very simple. And I don't know what else to say, God and Jesus, but will the light win or will the darkness win? Because this is just the preliminaries. This is just the preliminaries. This is batting practice for these Marxists that are already up 9-6 in the bottom of the ninth. And the Republicans got 2 outs and 2 strikes. This is it. It's the bottom of the ninth. Yeah. 1947 C rations. I'll tell you. This is the prototype blueprint that is in this political process right now that is totally fueled by Marxism. That's not theory or conspiracy or this and that. If any educated people are out there, these are flagrant signs. Our country doesn't even have a defined border. We're not even called a country. What are we? The United continent of America and Mexico. What is this? A Mexico? Mexicana? Americana? Mexican? What is this? Cheech and Chong? Americana? Mexicana? What is this, Cheech and Chong? We're not even defined. We don't have a defined border. We're not even considered a country. A country needs defined borders. We're not even a country. Right now, we're not a country. That's nice. That's very nice. Very, very nice. So it's 9/11 right now. Look at the clock. 9/11. Yeah, in remembrance to yesterday. And I tell you, of course, that was devastating for 9/11 and how that could have happened in America. 9/11 was a wake up call on, wow, that could happen in America. The border crisis, wow, that could happen in America. That could happen. How? How? We don't have leaders that are smart enough to stop this garbage. Don't you elect competent leaders that you would never have to worry about this stuff? Hmm. I don't know. I don't know, but I've been told a big-legged woman ain't got no soul. Let's go, Led Zeppelin. But these Democrats, they're soulless. When you can't even act on behalf of common sense and logic, well, these just seem to be very easy things. Common sense and logic. How does a party stray from common sense and logic? There must be a force, a motivating force. These are simple things. How do they defend and stand on crazy policies? How do you process that in your mind to say, geez, Joe, how they know that's wrong? They're educated. They know that's wrong. They see the results. They see all the indicators. Well, how do they defend that? One word, Billy and Sally. One word. You get it? Here it comes. One word. Evil. Give them a prize. Give them a prize. Evil. This is the summation and the culmination, are those words, of good versus evil. Yeah. They got the UFC fights coming up. Good fight. Great UFC fights. This is a fight between good versus evil. Good versus evil. That's what this is. Election day is paramount. Biblically speaking, this is biblical. Maybe these are the end times. Maybe Kamala Harris wins and World War III comes along. Maybe World War III comes along. Maybe this is biblical prophecy. Maybe it is the beginning of the end times. Maybe it is. If you had to script it, well, this would be the start of it. You could see how it would start, like in this current age. Maybe this is biblical. Maybe this is the beginning of the end times. Because you can only let Satan roam to and fro and have dominion, because God said, Satan, go do your dirty work, but my children will know who their father is. So Satan's having a hell of a run. Lucifer is having, he might be man of the year, Lucifer, for those demons. This could also be called biblical, because I'll tell you one thing, there will be nothing left to our country, and there could be a war. You don't think that these Chinese and Russians will just bitch slap us and put boats in our harbors? You don't think? Why? What's Kamala Harris gonna do? Cackle and laugh about it? Come in, take what you want. I'm 60 years old. That'd be interesting just to see that happen. Just for entertainment. Forget about being patriotic or not, which I'm from a military family, but you get crazy. Yeah, I'd just like to see what that would look like. Just so those people that supported her, this is evil thinking, forgive me, this is evil thinking. But when people fight for something that are so retarded people, it's just like you want them to pay for it. Now suffer. Like in the mob, in the mafia. Yeah, you thought like this? You thought like this? Your thinking was so freaking frayed. Your thinking was so bizarre. Well, you pay now. You pay. You pay. Violence. Forgive me. Forgive me. Pay now. Pay now. You could just walk around with all this bull crap and you think you're going to rock and roll and you're going to, you're going to just go unchecked. No. Gangsters should be running this country because this wouldn't be happening. This wouldn't be happening. Get the Colombo crew. This wouldn't be happening. Yeah. They should be running it. Yeah. These pantyways and these crooked politicians and everything else, they're worse. They're worse than organized crime. They're worse. This Democratic regime is worse than the Colombo family, the Gambino family, Lucchese family. They're worse than all of them. This Democrat regime. Worse. They're worse. How can you carry on destructive things for so long without getting checked? Because you weaponize the police forces, you weaponize the justice system, you got all the freaking cards, you got the everything, the stacked deck of cards. That's communism. You're using the DOJ like they've done to Donald Trump from the start. Poor Donald Trump. You weaponize the justice system for political gain, Marxism gain. And nothing happens. Nothing happens. This is America. So how do you run an organization like the mafia organization had checks and balances? Whatever they were. But you better act right. At the end of the day, the policies were you better act right. Or whatever. You better act right. There's something called consequences. How do these bums go for 4 years destroying our country, trying to ruin Donald Trump while they're at it so he can't run for president, so they don't want him to run. And they got a green light. They got a green light. Everything fine and dandy for the Democrats and all negativity for Donald Trump. Even try to put the guy in jail. How's that go unchecked? If Donald Trump gets elected, you think the way he cleaned that swamp out the first time? They're trying so hard now. I'm glad we're going to cover this part too. Hold on, let me refresh my coffee. They're going to hear footsteps. Give me 1 minute. We'll finish this point up and then we'll rock out. I want to state one more point, my folks, my people. All right. Let's think about this, folks. Sorry for the delay. Let's think about this. Donald Trump getting charged with something every other day, right? From day one. Before he got off the plane when he won the election, they already had charges for him. He's been thinking. He's had a long time to think, this Donald Trump. Okay? We see a lot of stuff on the media, okay? And there's a lot of stuff that doesn't appear on the media. So much information and goings on in the political apparatus that America, it doesn't just fall down. It doesn't make its way down to the propaganda media, even news stories, news items that we'd very well like to be aware of, but we don't. And if it's anything against the Democrats, it won't come out. But Donald Trump, they've been trying to put him in jail. They're taking shots at him. He's taking bullets. You don't think Donald Trump is taking notes? You don't think Donald Trump's got juice on people? You don't think this chess player called Donald Trump, while they're trying to incarcerate him and imprison him so he can't run for this election, they're trying to freaking shoot bullets at him so he can't run, these Marxists? You don't think he's taking notes? He's got names and numbers, and he's got the goods on a lot of powerful people. They know, these crooked Democrats know already that if Trump is elected and he puts in his Department of Justice, he gets rid of Mayorkas, the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, those clowns that let him get shot at in the first place, they're all gone. They're all gone. Trump's team is coming in. Now you want to weaponize the DOJ. He don't need to weaponize it because he will have legitimate cases against those Democrat hacks. You don't think they're thinking right now that, geez, if this Donald Trump gets elected, he's going to come at me. And I am guilty. I know I'm guilty. I actually perpetrated these crimes. He's going to come at me. You don't think those Democrat hacks are sitting over there? They know. Because he said the swamp is a lot deeper this time. He's going to clean it out. They already know. All those appointees and all their team is gone. Now you got to deal with Donald Trump. That's why the propaganda and the media are trying so hard to make it harder for Trump, obviously, to get elected. That they know that their apparatus will crumble. Their Marxist apparatus will crumble. The propaganda will be sick to their stomach for 4 years. What's NBC going to say? What's CNN going to say? What's ABC going to say? What's CBS going to say? When all they're going to have to do is report on Donald Trump for the next 4 years. They're going to be so sick about it. And all they're going to do is look at Donald Trump on doing news conferences talking about who he's putting in jail this week. That's what could possibly happen down the road. He'll get the country rolling. He will make America great again because he's already done it before. But in the meantime, you want to use the justice system? We'll see. We're going to use the justice system on people that actually committed crimes. They weaponized the justice system to charge him 80 million times unfoundedly. You want to play with the justice system? Well, okay. Yeah. They're crapping their pants right now. They know who they are. The guilty parties know who they are. And they know Trump will come get them. They know. This attack that he's been under ever since he announced his candidacy years ago for his first term, the campaign against him, they work around the clock to get at this guy in every way they can. Payback is a bitch. And it's not really payback. It'll be justified because they are really criminals that perpetrated criminal acts. And he might even win the House and the Senate. He might even, the Republicans might even take both bodies. So, yeah. Just like Trudeau, Francis. These are Marxists. These are Marxists. They get up there on their podiums, blah, 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 blah. The people are applauding. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, geez. Yeah. My name is Elmer J. Fudd. I own a mansion and a yacht. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The dumbing down of Homo sapiens. The dumbing down. So, yeah. Crazy times. But I just think that this strategy and the biased media, it could backfire on the Democrats because they just might rest on their merits and just chill out and think they got so much support that they don't even to be proactive and actually physically go vote. I'll tell you one thing, 95% of the registered Republicans are going to vote. They're going to vote. The Democrats better hope that their registered voters do actually go out and vote. Because yeah, they got a lead now, so they're just riding the wave. They got everything crooked. They got all the propaganda in their favor, and so they're just chilling. Yeah, we got this. We got this. You know, we're up 3 runs. It's the bottom of the 9th. 2 strikes, 2 outs. We got this. Oh, wait a minute. There's still one more strike. Excuse me. There's still one more strike. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. So that media bias gap can come into play because they're going to fool themselves with all the propaganda to just think that they can't lose. And all that does is motivate more Republicans that see this propaganda, more registered Republican voters that say, I got to go vote. Mine's 15 miles from here. I will hitchhike. I will hitchhike to go vote. Yep, Mr. Anderson. A win is a win. So I started out to do a 20-minute video. I can't take the pressure, my good people. If you want to support the channel, read a good book, Cash App, whatever there is there, hit the like button. We'll just keep pumping these out here or there. Keep abreast, say hello to each other, have a little fun. And that's that, you know. I like to put a video documentary on here. So maybe, God willing, when I'm 90, I can go back and say, hey, look what I was doing when I was 60. Wow, what a crazy election that was in 2024. Holy cow. Yeah. So everybody's going through, it's T minus what, 50 something days now? The future of our country is at stake. Marxism versus freedom. If you think inflation is bad now, I mean, you saw the debate last night. Trump's just had enough of this bull crap. It's 3-on-1. The moderators are coddling her. They're talking smack to him. He's always on the defense. They're lying. Well, how much can he take? We already know the people. We don't need debates. We don't need debates to realize what's going on in our country. Go to the gas pump. Go to the grocery store. Look at the border. Look at world wars going on. The wars breaking out in other countries. We don't need a debate to figure this shit out. Oh, who did good at the debate? Who gives a crap? Look at the real world and make a decision. That ain't going to change your vid. The debate ain't going to change the Republican support or the Democrat support. That ain't going to change anything. It's all fixed bias debate anyways. The 2 moderators, it's 3-on-1. She's telling lies one after another, and he's defending himself. All that debate was is him being a defensive posture, and he was right on all counts, and she was wrong on all counts. Well, Trump don't even do these debates. Don't even do it. You're feeding into their propaganda machine. You don't need to do that. You need an advisor like me, Donald. You need me to be your campaign manager. That's who you need. Yeah. Or Mickey Mouse, because you don't even have to be smart. If the country doesn't realize what's going on, you don't need a manager, you don't need a strategist, you don't need anything. All you need are facts of what's going on in our country. It's not rocket science to come up with some big political strategy how Donald Trump could win the election. If the country accepts the toilet that it's in right now, then vote for Harris. If the country doesn't accept the condition, then vote for Trump. That's it. That's it. You could have debates and commentary and everything else till you're blue in the face. The fact remains the same. The song remains the same. Led Zeppelin, the song remains the same, that it's good versus evil. What do you want your country to look like? We've seen what's happened in the last 4 years, and we've seen what happened with Donald Trump. If people can't process that, then there's nothing more you can do. When you boil it down to the bare aspects of logic, there's nothing more you can do. And the only thing I could think about is them thinking that they have such a big lead and it's a given that they're just going to win. It's an easy W. They think they're already going to drop the knee. The Democrats are thinking that just drop a knee on the 5-yard line and run the clock out. You got victory. Just run out the clock. That's why she wasn't doing debates and stuff in the first place. They were just trying to run out the clock. But then they thought that might backfire, and why not use propaganda media to try to boost them up anyways? So they're just trying to, a football team that just tries to run out the clock. That's their strategy. Because they know that, they won't do a debate with unbiased moderators. So that doesn't even serve Donald Trump. What more could Donald Trump say to America at this point in time that America doesn't already know? You would have to be in a cave somewhere to not know the state of America. What more can Donald Trump tell us that we don't already know? And then you watch the Democrats and Harris just talking gibble garble and an opportunity economy. An opportunity economy, and we should all come together and sit around a campfire and sing kumbaya. And they've done everything in their power to divide our country. They've succeeded at that the last years. And everything that comes out of their mouth is the opposite. If you want to know really what they stand on, just whatever they say, it's the opposite. Okay, boys and girls, this is easy. Marxists, when you want to know what they really mean, it's the opposite, because they're going to give you some ice cream while they stab you in the back. They're going to say, here's some ice cream, but no, here comes the knife. Et tu, Brute? Yeah, oh, geez, oh, God, I'm done. Yeah. Dapper the Rapper. I'm on a marathon here. Led Zeppelin. So I think that they think they're gonna take a knee. They're gonna run out the clock. They got everything favoring them. It's an uphill freaking battle for Donald Trump, where he's got all the media against him. Everything else is an uphill battle for Donald Trump. And maybe they're just going to drop a knee, and their voters are going to take a knee, and they're going to think that they don't need to really go out and vote because there'll be enough Democrats to elect Kamala Harris. And they're going to just hang their hat on that. They won't get a high percentage of their registered voters to physically and actually go out and vote. Registered Republicans, they're going to vote. If you got to go through a swamp or a blizzard or a rainstorm or whatever, they're going to make it to the toll booth. If I got to hitchhike, I'm going to the toll booth. I don't think you'll get that on the Democratic side. I don't think they're going to get a great percentage of their registered voters because they think this party is over. They already took a knee. They're trying to run the clock out. There's a little time left on the clock. There's a little time left on the clock. It's Joe Montana with the ball on his own 10-yard line with 30 seconds left and no timeouts. But guess what? Joe Montana, he can go down there and get you a touchdown in the nick of time. So don't drop that knee yet. Don't run out the clock yet, Democrats. Don't run that clock out and just rest on all your leverage because you got everything leveraged. You can run that, but you can't physically. You can control all the variables. You can control all the variables as far as media goes and propaganda, but you cannot control that Democrat to get off his couch on election day and physically go down there and vote because they think the victory is already sealed. Because they realize it's such a fixed game anyways. How can they lose? You can't lose. How can you lose? Everything is fixed and rigged in propaganda media. That might make the Democrat voters be more laxed and unwilling to go vote. And what that does to the Republican vote base is make you more aggressive and make you more motivated to actually get to that voting booth. Make you actually go get there. Come hell or high water. So that is what I call the media bias gap, where their media bias is going to put a gap there. Their cutie pie tricks can backfire on them. Their cutie pie tricks. They're going to take a knee and try to run out the clock when Joe Montana's coming in and going playing hard. That is the only shot. That's the only shot that Trump has at winning. What I call the media bias gap. I just coined that today. I should get a Nobel Peace Prize. It's just the truth serum, though. What can you do? Just the truth serum. But don't let the numbers fool you. I'm not from here. I'm from another world, and I'm seeing things quite clearly. All right? I'm not from here, okay? This is a test. That's all this is a test at the end of the day. So there you have it, my good people. Mr. Anderson, Dapper the Rapper, Francis Rigatoni, how you doing? I want that sauce. M. Grim Anderson, the New York Jets 15, they look like crap, but they played a Super Bowl team. They'll do better, the New York Jets. What else? Frank Ferraro, all right. Frank Ferraro, Wyatt Earp, David BMX, and Michael K. Whew. You get me started, folks. This is supposed to be a 20-minute video. If you could support the channel, hit the like button, okay? There's a link to my book. You know, I'm also an author. I wrote a memoir, very, very good memoir of my crazy life with divine intervention, mafia, gangsters, everything else under the book. So if there was a guy that could write a book, it's me. And keep you on the edge of your chair all the way through the book. So there's a link in there. Help a guy out over here, for crying out loud. You want to promote and support goodwill for yourself and for your country, where I rise you people up to try to be in good mental health and good status. Throw me a bone. Throw me a bone while you're getting your $10 coffees out there. Throw me a bone or get off the train. Ooh. Sorry, Jesus. Sorry, Jesus. But these Bidenomics are starting to catch up to me. Give a little bit of those fish hooks in your pocket to me. So, couple months, we'll know where this is going. We'll see how this election goes. And holy cow, Karl Marx would be proud. Karl Marx. Karl Marx. He's waking up in his grave going, is it happening? Yeah, check out America. Wow, yeah, there's this Harris and Biden and Obama. Yeah, they really like your method. Yeah, really in America. Yeah, Carl. Yeah, that's going on. They got Karl Marx in the grave going, it's happening in America. He's like, no, I don't believe it. Well, yeah, we'll know, Carl. We'll know. There's 2 more months. We'll know, Carl. Rip Van Winkle. Yeah, like, wow. He's either going to get up out of the grave and start rocking and rolling, or if Trump wins, they're going to put him back in the grave. But Karl Marx is alive and well. Karl Marx has a pulse. Yeah, he's got a discernible pulse. Karl Marx got a pulse. Yeah, put that on CNN. Newsflash, Karl Marx has a pulse. Yeah, they dug him up. They found he had a pulse. Wow. What do you mean pulse? Well, it's actually called Kamala Harris. Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right. Everything's all right, Mr. Anderson. Am I okay? No, I'm not okay. I'm broke. Bidenomics. I'm broke. No, I'm not okay. No, I'm not okay. I'm good, my good people. God bless you all and everything. You know, I've been putting less content out because it's overkill, and I like to stay in contact with my people and everything. But they clipped my wings. Of course, they censored me because they don't like the way I'm talking right now. They don't like it because they're Marxist propaganda now, and they put a straitjacket on my channel. They says we won't let you get another subscriber. Do your videos, but we won't let you get another subscriber. So that it is what it is. The old saying, it is what it is. So as far as the football is going, the pro football and the college football, I think I'm 17-3. Just picking. I ain't got money to gamble, but I think I'm 17-3 as far as that goes, but just out of a hobby, Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, social media has turned into propaganda, Mr. Anderson. Social media and the networks, I mean, if they can control networks, social media is a layup to have censorship on. So, little old me with 1,000 subscribers, what are they worried about me to take my subscribers away, to where I don't have the ability to gain a subscriber? What are they so worried about little old me for? YouTube. What are they so worried about? As you're well aware of, if you could see my subscribers, what have I been stuck on? 1230? They took 6 away. I don't know how that happened. They're taking my subscribers away on my ticker. But how's that happen? How's that happen? When I first started talking about Brittany Griner, censorship. That's why Elon Musk said, bye-bye, I'll go buy my own platform. That's all. There's a season for everything. There's a season for everything. But they do let other channels that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, they let other channels support Donald Trump on YouTube. Yes, I'm going to call it like I see it. There's big channels that support Donald Trump, and they go unbiased. I mean, they go through because they've already achieved all that money, ability to make money, because those big channels have ads on them and everybody wins because they already got 800,000 subscribers. So YouTube ain't going to censor them that much because they're earning revenues. They do not want to eliminate the ability to earn revenues. So they do let some of these YouTube channels promote the Republican agenda. because they're making money on the ads, you know. So me with my little 1,000 subscribers, well, he ain't making money on ads, and let's just put him right out. He's not a benefit to us. It's like a weed in the garden. Let's pull the truth serum out. That's just a weed there. We don't want that to get any bigger. We'll make money off of other commentary that runs parallel with the truth serum on those big channels. We'll earn those monies there, but we ain't gonna have any weeds like that, you know. So, what are you saying, Mr. Anderson? You could find the book down? Where? The book? Let's see. Hold on. Oh, boy, help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. Boy, when you swim upstream, boy, you swim upstream. Oh, boy. God and the guardian angels. There's a link there. There's a memoir. You want to have a good read? A good read. That's little me. That's a good read. The link is in the description. I don't have many book readers on my channel, but it's a well-written book. Of course it is, because it's inspired by divine inspiration and my memoir of my crazy life. So, Freddie Dorsey, Trump is going to lose. Great possibility. Harris is winning in the polls. It's looking that way. What more can you say, Freddie? What more can you say? Trump is going to lose. Well, it's looking that way. You know, if you want to be you're trying to be a cutie pie. Oh, let me just come on here. I've been listening to this guy, and here. I mean, yeah. Well, what do you want from me? Yeah, Trump is going to lose. Is he going to lose? Well, in Vegas, go bet. There's a line on it in Las Vegas. Go bet. Go bet on Harris. Make some money. Get something out of it. Get something out of it. That's all. I've more or less been stating that it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. They got all the propaganda and money, Freddie. They got all the money they need to run ads around the clock. It's a one-sided fight. It don't even matter how much Trump puts into his campaign. Campaign ads ain't gonna change anything at this point in time. All right, Freddie. Newsflash: run these commercials on a loop. It ain't gonna change anybody's voters' mind. Okay? Are you a thinker? Are you a thinker? Money right now, it's not gonna watching an ad between the football game, watching a commercial while I'm watching football tonight isn't going to make me go, oh, geez, I'm going to go vote for Trump now. Oh, geez, I'm going to go vote for Harris now. No. It don't matter, Freddie. It doesn't matter. No, doesn't matter. This is a wise guy that comes in here. You get them. I'm not into changing any more diapers, Freddie Dorsey. He's pocketing the money. Oh, really? He's pocketing the money. Well, yeah, well, whatever. Is that your theory? Trump's pocketing the money. Oh gosh. Trump, he's pocketing the money. Yeah, he's really hard up for cash. Yeah, okay, Freddie. Okay. Welcome to the Truth Serum, folks. Where do these guys come from? Where do they come from? Where do they come from? Come on, man. That's all you got? That's all you got. Trump is cheap. Trump is pocketing the money. Trump is going to lose. And Trump isn't getting the donations. Okay. Are you happy now? Are you happy? Are you happy, bro? Are you happy? Huh? My mommy was a politician, and she explained how it works. Really? You don't need an education. This is very simple stuff here. This is fourth grade stuff here, bro. This is fourth grade stuff. You don't have to unravel it or unpack it anymore. Go to the gas pump and take it. Go listen, Freddie. When you go to the grocery store, take it on the chin. When you put gas in your car, take it on the chin, okay? Ask your mommy if that's all right. Does your mommy say, "Mommy, gonna need another 50 from mama over there," because you can't, unless you're still living at home with your mama. Well, maybe you're gonna need another 50 to pay for that gas. I'm not trying to be hard on anybody. Don't come at me sideways. Don't come at me sideways because you want to jump in this little old channel here and try to put some smack in there. We can throw smack around. We could throw it around. That's all. We can throw it around, but get knowledge. Knowledge is the key. Don't be brainwashed. Don't be brainwashed. Be a free thinker. And I'm 60 years old. Be a free thinker. Well, I heard it over there. I heard it from here. I heard it from here. CNN told me this. My brother told me this. My aunt told me this. My mother told me this. Why don't you think for yourself and be an information gatherer and look at evidence? Evidence, like a lawyer and a judge in deciding a case. Look at facts. Look at facts, Billy. Look at facts, Sally. Look at facts. Oh, they said this. Why? Because you don't have the tools to make a educated and informed decision about something. Because you're a coddled ass generation that's coming up. You're coddled and you're wimps, and everybody else is doing the heavy work, and you're just sitting back for the ride. Come on. Come on, man. Come on. Come out with all these explicitives are just gibberish. Gibberish. That's your voting base right there, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, let's provide Exhibit A for the jury. That's Exhibit A. How they got these conformed, programmed, hypnotized people that just run around talking smack that don't know anything about the facts. You serve for the country? If that's true, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Yeah. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. But other than that, that don't give you a free pass to be a nitwit. You serve for the country doesn't mean you got a green light. Do what you want. Do what you want. But thank you for joining. You know, this is political stuff. We get crazy about. You know, we get crazy about. We get animate against things like that. You know. Yep. I'm already 60 years old. I hope you make it to 60, Freddie. I hope you make it to 60. Okay? Because if you're out there in the streets running hard, you ain't going to make it. I was out there running hard and I made it with gangsters, with real cold-blooded people, and I made it. I'm on all gravy time. This is gravy time for me. I don't wish any ill will on anybody. And we're going to have our differences as far as politics is concerned. Obviously. I'm not saying whether people hold higher. Just people, don't be sheeple. Just don't be indoctrinated into just, follow the leader mentality. Follow the leader. Now, if you've been militarized, you just follow the leader. You're used to following the leader. You know, that's all. You're a follower, bro, because you can't make a decision. You're too lazy to get facts. Well, go to the grocery store. There's facts there. Go look at the border. There's facts there. Go put gas in your car. Those are facts, bro. You can't debate them, or anybody out there in this audience. You can't debate them. This is easy fourth grade stuff. That's all. We can get petty and try to rib on each other, you know. Mhm. Real gangsters don't admit who they hang with, Rico Act. Well, I guess I'm not a real gangster. Don't matter to me. I didn't want to be a gangster. I got put in a position where it just went a little crazy, bit off more than I could chew, but I didn't get made. I could have gotten made, which means you take a blood oath. I didn't take no blood oath to get in the mafia. I was a runaround guy. I didn't take that. I don't want to be blooded in. No, I didn't want to. So I'm not a gangster. So I'm not admitting to be a gangster. I ran around with gangsters, but I wasn't blooded in. For all that's worth. How do we get on that subject, Freddie? Freddie's trying to ride me over here. I want to be a Christian. I'm not a hard ass. I get frustrated, but I want to promote goodwill. And my best friends were of color coming up. In case you don't know, if you want to play that race bait bullshit, my best friends were of color coming up. All right, so don't go there. If that's your next comment, don't go there, bro. All right, because I fought side by side with my friends, and Italians were prejudiced against too. Don't go there if you're thinking about going there. You know, just don't go there. I'm not that guy. Mm-hmm. Smart, you drive a car for your friends. You know, I mean, this politics and this critical election that's coming into play. It's Ivan. They all talk about who they hang out with. Actually, Freddie, you got to catch up on things, buddy. Freddie, you might get your punk papers here, but be nice. Everybody be nice. You know, I try to promote love and compassion, but you know, we just got to all try to move forward. That's all. We got to just move forward. Okay. I like to laugh. I like to laugh and have fun in outside of YouTube world. I like to enjoy and have fun and do the best I can with the resources I have and just try to promote love and compassion and let's all get along. But then, you know, we're still emotional and things piss you off and you get frustrated. But I want to be a Christian. I want my mother to be proud of me that raised me that way. Single mother. I want her to be proud and say, good job, Jojo. Good job. Watch what you say sometimes, Jojo. You know, be smarter on some things. But we get frustrated and we get aggravated and we want to throw. Come on down here. Come on, say that to my face. Come on, I'm an old man. I'll knock you out. No, that ain't no good. That ain't no good. What good does it serve to say I knock somebody out? What's that? Put you like some big tough guy here? You get a badge, you're a tough guy? You're a tough guy. I visit tough guys in the cemetery. They were tough guys. Or visit them in prison. Those are tough guys. They're in the cemetery and they're in prison. Their lives are done. Those are the tough guys. Okay. I don't aspire to be a tough guy. Okay. No. Okay. But thank you for coming in and giving whatever comments you want to try to ride me. Well, that's okay. That's okay. The NYC crime spot. Where have you been? So we've had a rough road. Me and the New York. Go to the New York City crime spot. Check out Brett. He's doing his thing. We had turmoil, but I'm doing politics. You know, the mafia stuff. You could only go so far, Mr. Crime Spot. But it's good to have you in here. I'm just trying to stay with the flow. You know. No, Crime Spot. You know that. You know that. When I first talked to you, you know where my heart is at. You know where my heart is at. You know, I appreciate that. NYC Crime Spot. I don't have big numbers here, but go check him out. He'll show you where those places were and all that. That's interesting stuff. That's interesting stuff, you know. That's what I'm talking about. No hard feelings. You see? No hard feelings. And we were going at it. Forgive me, Jesus. We were going at it, but it takes a man. That's a bigger man. That's a bigger man right there. That's what I get off on. Maybe that's wimpy thinking, but that's the true thinking. That's how you gain leverage in the world. Positivity. Nothing could happen in negative on a negative matrix and all that. You got to promote positivity and other positive aspects of the world will attract to it. So thank you, Crime Spot. That's a man down there in New York City. That's a man. That's a man. Yeah, that makes me feel good. I'm on here. I'm talking politics. Not that much mob stories. And you know how many? I got a lot of mob stories I could tell, but after a while, you know the thumbnail, and then you're trying to do this. Mike Francis, he's trying to get out. You know, he's leveling off. Yeah, Crimes, but I'm moving away from that mob stuff, toxic bullshit game genre. You're right. I mean, you know, if you're not an established mega channel and you could feed off of all of that, it's like you're either Sammy the Bull Gravano or Mike Francis, and then you got the A lights, the in betweens. But how much of that segment can you gain when people are just getting their lunch and dinner from Francis or Sammy the Bull? How much can you infiltrate in that? Even if you provide excellent content, because you and me both sit there and say this is great content, but how come we can't? How come we ain't flying? Well, you're doing a lot better than my channel, I gotta say. You know, they censored me, Crime Spot. They censored me right out. They censored me right out. Look at my ticker. Look at my ticker. I had that 1200 not that long after we did that marathon when you got me over the hump of 1,000 subscribers. Look how much time passed. I had 1,200 right after that. I'm still on 1,200. They censored my ability to get any new subscribers. It's tough, this YouTube game. It's tough. You know, it's tough. But the mob stuff is very intriguing, and it seems like there's an insatiable appetite for mob stories. I got a couple more interesting stories I could tell, you know, which I'm going to throw them in there, but I'm going to do current events and everything because, you know, it might be the politics talk. They hate it. Well, Crime Spot, I started getting censored when I talked smack about Brittany Griner. You know, then they addressed me. Oh, well, blah, 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 blah. You know, I couldn't even say anything about Brittany Griner. And then they started focusing on me. And then after I did another video with the woke and all that, when that was starting a couple months back, they cut my ticker right off, froze. Yeah. But I pump them out. I don't do them every day like I did before. Maybe twice a week now. You know, political stuff. And whatever I get, I visit people like you. You come in and visit. I get to say hello. And if that's my reward for it, that's good enough for me. You know, that's good enough for me. Hello, Mr. Anderson. Hello, Brett from New York City Crime Spot. Then that's my reward. That's my reward. Talk, blah, blah, blah. You know, I like to chirp. And that's the way it goes. Thank you for coming in, New York City Crime Spot. I really felt bad, whether you know it or not, because I like to laugh and have fun. And I don't want no uneasy taste in the mouth, you know, psychologically speaking. I thought, you know, that kid's all right. I talk smack, they talk smack. But, you know, that ain't the way to go. That ain't the way to go. So there you have it. I got a 2-hour marathon here. It's going to be 20 minutes, but I must have really been jonesing to do a video. And this political time, this political time, is critical. And I wanted to do a video documentary so I can time frame this in a catalog down the road for whatever purposes. Just because, like my daughter, I just saw my daughter. I love you, Nikki. She lives overseas. She come back. We got together. Thank you, Jesus. I'm the richest man in the world because my daughter is great, and we have a great relationship. So that's my victory. And so I'm doing these videos, catalog. This is what was going on in America at this point in time. And it's just like a time marker of current events. So get a TO, Joe, get a TO. Not even a bathroom break? Holy cow. Holy cow. But Freddie, if you're still there, you want to come in and just talk some real stuff, we could talk real stuff. We don't have to be, if you want to come in here with an edge, it's up to you. It's up to you. If not, then I don't know what to tell you. But I don't have any diapers left, and I don't want to be changing anybody's diapers if you're going to come on me with that smack and all that gibberish. You know, like a heckler, like there's a comedian and there's a heckler back there. You could either get ignored or you can get smashed. Yeah, Mr. Anderson. Yep. 36 years old. Does good work overseas. And don't get to see her much, but she come back and we had a nice time. So that's good enough for me. Yeah. That's good enough for me. So politics, get everybody crazy, and then we go on with our lives and just have fun in our everyday lives. Politics is one thing, and then we got to pay attention. Yes, we got to pay attention. It's make or break. We got to pay attention, but we have to enjoy our relationships. You got girlfriends, you got boyfriends, you got children, you got mothers, you got brothers and sisters. We got to enjoy our relationships in our real life aspect. And people struggle. People are struggling with a lot of different maladaptive behaviors, drug addiction, depression, mental health issues, all kinds of stuff. This Bidenomics will make you even crazier. So mental health has got to be a lot worse than it was when Trump was president. Like the way I weeded that in there. Makes sense though. You don't think there's more domestic disputes going on? Honey, we can't pay the electric bill. Well, what'd you do with the electric money, honey? Well, I bought the food with it. Well, where was the food money? Well, I took that out of the gas money. Well, where is it? Well, geez, you better go make some more money, Billy, because we can't afford. Well, you better get a job, Sally, because now you got domestic disputes. Bad mental health, bad aggravation, very bad stress and depression and frustration and anger. All of these maladaptive behaviors that are ruining people. So let's get that in order and try to rise up our thinking in that aspect. You know, politics is politics. It'll make you one way or another, whether it does or not. But you all are in the real world. You're living your life. We want to have the best life that we can live. We want prosperity. We want great relationships. We want to be thinking in a sound mind. We want to have positivity and love and compassion. And we all want to have fun and love and laugh and have fun. Isn't that what we're trying to get to in our trajectory of life? Yes, there's hurdles, of course, but you got to keep pumping. Yeah, I've been censored, everything else here. I keep putting them out. I have fun. That's what I like to do. I vent. I communicate, and that's my fix. That's my fix. Rather than just going crazy, you know, with no interaction. Senior citizens become isolated, and there's no human interaction, and then they lose their faculties. they lose their thinking. When you if you're not using it at my age, you lose it. You don't use your brain and communicate with people, you lose it. You lose it. So you got to stay primed. You got to stay primed. That's why I'm doing a 2-hour video here. I got to stay primed. I got to keep thinking. I got to keep the wheels turning here, because when you turn that off, you lose it at a very high, exponentially. You will go into dementia and Alzheimer's. And I already got a brain injury where it's supposed to accelerate now. I already have a brain injury where now's the time that it should accelerate and make me, I am forgetful on things, yes, but that could just be normal 60-year-old. I am having some memory, but it's a slippery slope. And if I let go of the rope and just stay quiet and don't talk to anybody, I'm going to diminish rapidly. So I get on here, talk to the good people, keep the wheels turning, have fun, stay energized, and have a pulse. So, no, I don't have grandchildren. I have one daughter, no grandchildren, and that's that. So there you have it, folks. 2 hours, 15 minutes. We'll end it there. Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Thank you, NYC Crime Spot Brett. Thank you. That's a man there. That's a man there that puts differences aside and comes in with goodwill. Thank you. Thank you. I get off more on love and compassion than mob stories. I like love and compassion. That gets me. Yeah. So Francis, thank you. FW Fred, how'd you get in here, FW Fred? Dr. Joseph Monty, the professor of truth. Of course, folks. Don't let the numbers fool you. I'm not from here. Just remember that. I'm not from this world. Okay. Insider. Mr. Anderson, Dapper the Rapper, Francis, everybody in here. Everybody in here. I like my crew. The New York Jets made an appearance. New York Jets. All right. That is nice. Mr. Candinas, thank you, folks. There's links in the description. Frank Ferraro. Yeah. Mr. and Wyatt Earp. David BMX. He's one and done. David BMX. Thank you, folks, for helping your guy out. The links are in the description if you want to support me. Bidenomics. I'm not one of those guys that retired with a lot of money. I'm trying to make ends meet over here. So if you're in a financial situation, hit the like button. That's free. If you can buy the book, if you're a book reader, that's good. Or if you could throw me a freaking a ham sandwich, throw a ham sandwich down my throat, trying to stretch out the budget to last the rest of the month, because macaroni and cheese is getting old. Macaroni and cheese is I'm getting sick of it. Figuring out cheap meals. Jeez, Bidenomics. Holy cow. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. God bless everybody. Let's keep our heads on straight. Yeah. Crazy time in politics. We'll get through all that. We'll move on to the next area. I'm going to stay doing current events, maybe throw in a mob story here or there. I'm going to do one about my godfather, assassin, a hired gun for the mafia. And I think about things. Sometimes they come to my mind. Some stories are lost forever, but some I do regain memory. And we'll talk about some of that mob stuff, and that's about it. So just stay informed. Yeah, I know people hit the notification button, but they don't even get notified. They get notified. You're supposed to hit the notification bell so you're notified when I do my video, but they got that censored too, I guess. I don't know. It's what can you do? I got to move past that and just do what I do. They're going to do what they do. Let me just do what I do, have as much fun as I can. And that's that. So, thank you, Mr. Anderson. I appreciate that. And That's all. The link to the Cash App is in the description. The link to the book is in the description. The super chat stuff to donate through that. But I would recommend, if you donate, send it through the Cash App, because I realize 97% of the Cash App, don't send it through the membership, because I split that with YouTube, and I am the enemy of YouTube. So I don't like to split that 50-50 with YouTube, okay? The little that I get, I'd like to realize a bigger share of the donation than these same people that are censoring me. Yes, I am on their platform, but geez, quit censoring me, and I would be glad to go 60-40 with you on donations. But since you got me on censorship, I would recommend my donations go through Cash App, where they don't get anything. So that's that. You've heard it all before, folks. So we'll be back again. I'm going to start doing these. I went 17-3 in the football, but I didn't bet. But I did tell you folks what I liked prior to those games. I did tell you folks what I liked in those football games. That's recorded on video last week when I talked about the college and the NFL games. It's on record. So any of the naysayers, well, it's on record. But we don't have gamblers in here that want to gamble and all that and that. So that's all right too. So, all right, folks. Be the kings and queens of your world. Don't give up. Keep throwing punches no matter what it takes. Just keep your head together. And it's not partly cloudy, it's partly sunny. Let's keep it together in all aspects of our life. All right? Thank you. I'll be back again. And I appreciate all your support. Thank you. God bless you.